You actually wrote the proposal for CPT, which was the forerunner for DBJ. What
That's
was your
correct.
goal in doing that?
Well, actually, I had done an earlier show called Black and Unknown Bards that kind of traced black literature writers from Phyllis Wheatley through Lorraine Hansberry, who had just written Raisin in the Sun. One of the persons we had on that show was Langston Hughes, and he wrote the poem that, you know, one of these days somebody's going to stand up and talk about me and write about me and put on plays about me, black and beautiful, and I guess it'll be me myself.
And that's
and
what
that
CPT
became
did.
kind of a philosophy and, you know, the philosophical underpinning of what became CPT.
These people who will embrace and internalize nonviolence as a way of life and who are able to teach nonviolence would help to revolutionize our society, revolutionize the values of our society, which is what is needed. We can't change, you know, what the situation as it is today, unless it seems to me there's a revolution of values.
Explain what your music accomplishes and achieves emotionally, socially.
Well, really, it's mainly what I'm interested in and what the musicians that I play with are interested in. We deal with the American experience, and we try to incorporate all aspects of that experience that we are aware of. And when you listen to us play, you're listening to us negotiating our different agendas and personalities through a musical form. Now, we record a wide range of music. One thing that we really attempt to do is to break down this conception of generation gaps and the separation of our music into eras, because we feel that all eras of our music has a power and a beauty to it, and that a personal statement can be made in any style of jazz music.
That the reason for that ban was because television cameras excite and intensify the conflict. What has been the result, in your view, of the ban?
The government keeps looking for scapegoats and all kinds of excuses for why things are going wrong at home. We warned them long, long ago that the fundamental cause of all the trouble, the unrest, is apartheid, and until apartheid goes, anything that they do will be merely peripheral to the real issues. What it has done is, I suppose, to have removed the immediacy and the dramatic effect of people being able to see how vicious apartheid is, with police hiding themselves in crates to lure children to stone them.
I wanted to redeem the wicked Hollywood image that has been shown ever since I've known myself about black domestics, male and female. When you showed a female, you showed her so completely involved with the madam and her house and her children. And when she got home, it was, sit down, get out of my way. And yet she's taking a 12-year-old white child on her knee. Yes, baby, I'll sing you a song. This is not real, it's not true. Black mothers cared about their children. And they got up and washed that child up, combed that head, gave it whatever breakfast she had for it before she went out there to take care of somebody else's house. So it was not lack of love, but need of money that made her leave her home and go there and work. And the complete involvement with the madam's home and the absolute detachment from her own, I found a cruel joke to play on a whole group of people.
It sounds as if you're saying that this integration is not portraying a black perspective.
No, what I'm saying is that integration is a game. There's no polite way to say it. Integration is a noble, wonderful idea. like motherhood, but all women aren't good mothers. Like being a good Christian, but all Christians aren't good Christians. Like Judaism, but all Jews aren't good Jews. They're good ideas. When you get down to the reality of it, when you say, let's desegregate, if you desegregate, you don't always have to have a white majority. If you are saying that desegregation means a white majority, you're saying you have a new definition for racism.
People are now pushing forward a black man, Colin Powell, who is being touted as someone who could possibly carry a party ticket to the White House. Do you agree that America is now ready to elect a black president?
I'm not sure that is the critical question of the hour. Colin Powell brings to the table a body of experience, a reputation, a very popular ex-general, now a book author, all that has been a source of good, I think. I think that his very presence there is very connected to our 84, 88 campaigns, because we're beyond that, can a black man run and debate domestic issues and debate foreign policy issues. Of course, a black man can win if he gets enough votes. The question becomes for us, however, is one of priorities and direction and values.
Since 1974, this country embarked on an unprecedented historic experiment. It allowed markets to run amok, unregulated, unfettered, unedited, penetrating every nook and cranny of our lives. So it created more and more market mentalities, market moralities, and market culture. By market mentality, I mean get over by any means, careerists, concerned fundamentally about one's own individual situation. By market mentality, I mean hedonistic, self-indulgent pleasure, narcissistic, trying to always make oneself be center stage because it's all about image. And by market culture, I mean buying and selling, promoting, advertising, being the dominant activities in the culture. And historically, you take, for example, a non-market activity like parenting. You see, in order to be a good parent, you got to care, you got to want to nurture, you got to love. Those are all non-market activities, you see. So to be a good parent is to cut against the grain of the market culture that's bombarding you as well as your children to buy and sell and promote and advertise. Now, what happens when other non-market activities like parenting, loving, caring, trusting, more and more are pushed to the margins? Well, you end up with a gangsterized society.
It was my idea to name it CPT because I was angry, and I wanted to say something to the public that was ethnic, that was an inside something. And we never did in public, at least I never did, ever say what CPT meant. We simply said, if you're on the in group, you know what it means. But out of that period came, I think, a tremendous expression and a tremendous growth. And as I said earlier, anyone who wasn't angry watching dogs and fire hoses attack black people every night on television wasn't very normal.